31207. We're watching the entire world, and we're hereby announcing to you that we are the #1 world leader. The wealthiest person in the entire world, valued over $3 trillion. Proof of funds we finally published as Keith2022.com, that also shows our impeccable credentials that we work directly with God and Mother Earth our whole life. We have 2 policemen down here that are doing a traffic stop. Well, if you use joydrive.us, no one will be speeding, no one will have an accident, no one will have a problem, there'll be no more congestion. joydrive.us is a multi-trillion-dollar savings, putting web cameras on the corners of every car, retrofitting, no more wiring harnesses and switches, and a joystick in the middle is your cruise control. Everyone can now share their vehicles. Ride sharing. Freebus.us, freetrains.us. Particularly jetsoncraft.com, so we can take over the manufacturing capacity of all the holding companies and all the major manufacturers, Pratt & Whitney, GE, Boeing, Airbus. Everyone will now be producing jetsoncraft.com and doing $1 per air mile air service. Autonomous, we're even paying the FAA to create one international air traffic control system, which is really what the whole system's about. And all your assets will be protected under FOIA.1 and the world's last World Patent Trade Office, worldpto.com. You see, we're the #1 visionaries and theologians that work directly with God. We just had a Waymo run by us a minute ago. Well, that's the automation of jetsoncraft.com. Yet nobody can focus on the needs of others, the golden rule. The real golden rule 6,000 years ago was he who has the gold makes all the rules. The people I've been working with have been some of the worst criminals, thugs, terrorists, mafia, but I'm not participating in their criminal activity, which is exactly what Robert D. Rose wanted. He wanted my database, he wanted my multi-billionaire friends and business associates so he could scam them and steal your assets. All government databases, corporate, government, banks, stock market, private databases are being attacked by Robert D. Rose and other cybercrime antichrists. Call them nothing less than terrorists, because they don't do it for any reason except extreme amount of wealth and assets. Robert D. Rose is probably still alive. Find him by contacting the FBI, the Attorney General, the U.S. military. Oh, there it is, solutionmilitary.com is no more wars. Only privately held companies means no wars. Nobody can manipulate our people to wage war ever again, called Mark of the Beast 666. So I have Mark of 777, which is the use of God's technology that I have created as the most prolific inventor in world history, not just USA, world history. Contact us directly, and the first thing we require is safe haven protection and public apologies from Governor Kemp, President Trump, and all the other world leaders why you, the people, are not accepting our entire portfolio. $3 trillion is actually worth more than that. And that's based upon the seizure of criminals and terrorists by solutionmilitary.com. Military tribunals is one of the key answers to eliminate by death row the worst of the worst people like Eric Rudolph, Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, Epstein, all these other people that cause trillions of dollars of economic damage and harm to people. They all harm people. The drug dealers, the brokers, the slave traders, they all cause harm. But you say, oh, if there's no blood spilled, no crime was committed. Oh, if you can't find the bodies, like you can't find Keith Duncan, no crime was committed. Who's going to sign DuncanClaim.org 22-1-3042.68? We finally filed after 8 years of recovering everything about everyone else and published it as DuncanClaim.org. Not only involves just 150 people, it involves millions of criminals that free roam. I require safe haven protection, which is called a room, and protection from the government, corporate, from you, from all the churches, particularly Oak Grove United Methodist Church and Peachtree Road United Methodist Church, and my original church that knew all about it, particularly Harvey Snyder Jr. at Merrill Lynch. You can look him up. At Peachtree Corners Baptist Church, they all knew I had been kidnapped. They all knew that the government was doing everything they could to silence me forever. That's called murder for hire proxy. And the proxy system of Evote.one, number 3, reverses the course of human history forever. The value, we use the word Godzillion. Even the concrete industry will now use solutionhousing.org, a very affordable housing. You pay as you go, never be in debt, never crime, vice, or sin, and others. And the value for the churches, which we turned over again, christdomain.org. All the churches work together regardless of their theology and the technology, and they actually become outreach ministers, and we're paying for that. $40 billion goes out to build onecity.life. Find a mistake in anything we've done, and we'll be glad to correct it. Oh no, you will be required to make it better, called business process improvement. Quality to make sure that there's no, I've got my microphone underneath the lapel to see if I've got no wind noise, if everyone can hear me briefly. Pastor, warning, anything you say can and will be used to you in a sermon. And I've got usnews1.org, which is also fundamentally historical legacy. 207 pound built by Keith, currently 17th Street and Interstate 85-75 junction. We are the ultimate visionary sages, theologians, agents of God, named as guardian angel protectors, and investkeith.org. Duncan. We have no secrets. We've never viced, crimed, or harmed anybody our entire life. How in hell could Robert D. Rose, the Duncan clan, the Shama, and Doug Duncan succeed in having us killed? DuncanClaim.org is all based on Cobb County Cancel Restraining Order 11.1.1171 that was canceled after I paid Barry Victor Reynolds and everybody else to have Miss Bashama arrested. Nobody has ever investigated Robert D. Rose at Where Is Robert Rose, who's the #1 poster child. Ended up being manhuntall.com, putting bounties on the head when the victims put a bounty on the head of their criminals. We find them remotely with open circuit TV and one database, FOIA.one. And then everyone's shielded, everyone's protected. The transportation industry is free bus and freetrains.us. We just delivered it back to Marta at Lindbergh Station. In fact, we delivered this to everywhere. Everything you see around us, the education is SCAD behind us. We've got Invesco, well that's investkeith.org, which is really reinvestall.com. No more of these broker houses, no more stock market. Only privately held companies, everyone using WTFONE.org, WorldTradeFederation.org. We destroy what people call New World Order. We destroy the underground criminal enterprise. And I was actually working at the Bell South building, which is located right there behind me for years, 17 years, replacing all their computer systems. We know more about Microsoft and Google. We're going to replace them also. Why is this so prevalent? It's all driven by Evote.one. It's only 8 commandments of God's Constitution.org. And for those that don't believe in God or Mother Earth, which is a majority of people, despite what they say, we have solutionmanifesto.com. So we even have it on our bike. We're bannering out everything we need to show a new world economic system. Pound built by Keith on exactly January the 29th, 2026. I am your new world leader. A group of us. Crime-free, debt-free, drama-free utopia, unocracy.org. And we're 100% victimized by basically Robert D. Rose, cybercrime terrorist, who succeeded in having us kidnapped and almost killed October 3rd, 2011 at DuncanClaim.org. But nobody wants to accept criminal evidence. Why? Because they're aliens. They're only interested in the money, only interested in the complete control of the laws and the economy. Criminal ruling elite. We're waiting for the bus right now. Should be coming around the corner. We're back in Norcross, obviously. Everything will drop in prices once we eliminate the worst of the worst of the worst threats in the world. manhuntall.com, and the FBI, the Attorney General, in fact, every government, every corporation in the world, including you, will now protect my life. Why? Because of the value in the most extreme situation of WorldWar4.org. Evote.one is the whole basic driver for a new world's economy, where we pick and choose everything about each other called passing judgment. The database, Foia.one, is you share all your public information and store your private information in the community-based database. So therefore, the criminal ruling elite and the outsiders can't see what you're doing. But if you violate the law, instant justice called DueProcessLaw.org. We're currently waiting for the Gwinnett County bus. Connect to MARTA. We're going down to Chamblee to meet with John Parks. In fact, we're meeting with everybody. Everybody must call and demand direct conversations with Governor Brian Kemp. And then he'll send us to Trump, really Washington, D.C., and then we'll be dispatched overseas as your Prince of Peace. Sovereign ambassadors to host, mediate, PeaceSummit2020.com, which is now Peace Summit 2026. It's all based upon Cobb County Cancel Restraining Order TPO 11.1.1171 that was used, reversed because I've been robbed, and then I was robbed of $40 billion of assets. My churches know this. Oak Grove United Methodist Church, Peachtree Road United Methodist Church. The original was Peachtree Corners Baptist Church. Tens of thousands of people know exactly that I was sent by God, which is a website, by the way. God sent with a key, T, GodSentKeith.org. The websites are now 120 websites, and I'm losing them because I don't have any money, because I'm running out of my Social Security, because I keep having extra expenses like my van, my car, just blew a water pump, got frozen. So I'm actually staying in a homeless shelter temporarily while the temperature's low. My original value was not worth $40 billion. It was actually the multi-trillion dollars. We must speak directly with the other world leaders, including Elon Musk. He'll understand what I'm doing. We were the developers of the original artificial intelligence. And I'm looking over my shoulder because this is the bus stop. Less than 4 minutes. Protect my life today. We'll publish this as quick as we can. At the library, of course.
Most interesting, I'm doing a video record of myself, which is why there's an echo back. I'm using Zoom back to myself, which is the top of unifies.org, to show the last time exactly what's about to happen. This is the key website. This is the God's Constitution and Solution Manifesto downloadable. There's team.
Exactly, December 28th, 2025. This is number 1206. This describes the final solution, unifies.org, at every respects. Notice that we're the only group of super wealthy people who actually solve problems and give everything away. And that's the value of all these diagrams that we put out. Listen closely and get us back on national news as quick as possible. Exactly. December the 31st, 2025, number 1206. Pound, built by Keith. The most revolutionary peacemaking system in world history was always unifies.org. The will of the we, the people, decide the next project. 2, only direct funding by that same group. And 3, we pick and replace the leader. Automatically, your brain will say, oh, you have a moral obligation to solve any problem in the world. Starting with yourself, because you can't help anybody unless you help yourself, to get yourself clear-minded, called coherent and exactly Sunday, December the 29th. 8th, 2025. Number 10106. Here's the most famous sign of all time. It's right there. Can you read it? It describes everything required to create a crime-free utopia. Unocracy.org. How is this so critically important? Every person in the world now becomes a peacemaking, problem-solving expert. You decide everything about everyone else. Absolute final summary is we the people pick every project and every leader in the world. Contact us and protect our lives today with no exception and actually be paid to be New World leaders today.